You guys are going to want to stay tuned. We took like an awesome Christmas survey type thing where it's going to like reflect our characters, our characteristics, and we're going to try and guess who best fits these categories and whatnot. And we're going to see if we have similar answers or very different answers. It should be a lot of fun.
The Joy Schtick Show.
Mele kalikimaka, Schticklers. You know it's the Joy Schtick Show coming to you from a Christmassy kind of vibe. It's your three brothers from Hawaii that have gathered again to talk story about some things we've read, watched, or played. Christmas version. Shakas Mahalos for sticking around. If you fancy what you hear, please like and subscribe on the platform you frequent. Duh. I'm your co-host Drake. That's Thomas.
What's up, you ho-ho-hos?
And that's Scott.
Malekalikimaka, you fuckers.
Oh, boop, boop.
Oh, Drake's
Okay, here we go.
muting and cutting out.
Yeah. So the rice is going off in the background, but
Muted.
Drake's
I'm gonna read
muted.
his lips. Okay.
read my lips because the rice is going off in the background, and I'm going to come at you with a little bit of grains of the topics for this evening. We're going to talk about some Christmas things that are uncommon in terms of movies and shows, just because we've talked about some things that are blatantly Christmassy, but we're going to get into it kind of atypical style. And then Santa Tom has a game for us.
We have a game.
What's up?
Yes.
Woot. Heyo. And then we're going to do kind of what each of us has as a uncommon reminder of Christmas. And then, Scott, tell us what we have for the finale.
You guys are going to want to stay tuned. We took like an awesome Christmas survey type thing where it's going to like reflect our characters, our characteristics, and we're going to try and guess who best fits these categories and whatnot. And we're going to see if we have similar answers or very different answers. It should be a lot of fun.
Yes, stick around. It's
Heyo.
like trending all over TikTok. It's the Google Forms, but we Christmasified it. If that makes sense.
Christmasified.
That's all right. There you go.
Chrysanthemified.
Yes. All right, let's get into it. So what's the first thing that, I don't know, I guess it's like uncommon movie or show?
Uncommon movie or show. So it's not something that's blatantly Christmas, like, you know, The Grinch or Santa Claus.
Yeah, Wonderful
or
Life.
Other things of that nature. Yeah, it's like, it's maybe the environment and or the time of year, the holiday is kind of the general day or time of year in the movie, but it's not necessarily the movie.
Yeah, okay. I got
show.
an example. Well, yeah. No, I did. This isn't that uncommon then, so I'll go first. Or I guess not that
Okay, go for it.
untypical. One of my favorite Christmas holiday episodes of any show has to go to How I Met Your Mother, and it's called How Lily Stole Christmas. And so it's right after Lily gets back with Marshall, after she had been in San Francisco and like broke his heart and like broke up with him, and it comes back. And so she's like setting up this Christmas. Marshall has finals for law school, and he's like, okay, I'm going to be in the library for 8 hours all day. And he's like, averting his eyes from all the decorations she's setting up because he's like, I don't deserve it till my finals is done. And in the meantime, while Lily's setting everything up, she hears something on the voicemail machine that was Ted basically calling her a bitch for leaving Marshall. And then she gets pissed off and she takes all the decorations back to her like little apartment. And like some reason, like that's one of my favorite Christmas episodes of anything. I just like love that one so much. Yeah, I don't know, because it kind of plays into, what is it? A Christmas Story where he's like, but I didn't call her a Grinch. You know, he calls it that thing where it's actually the bad word he calls her, like he dubs it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love that episode. Yeah.
You're a mean one. What about you, Scott Hole?
That's what they call me. Big old Scotto.
Yeah.
So I know a little off air we're talking about movies, and I had a couple, and I could still use them, but there is one other one that reminds me of Christmas. definitely not set during Christmas. And I just thought of
Okay.
it. Groundhog's Day.
Oh,
Literally during Groundhog's Day. But because like all the things Bill Murray like does when trapped in that town, like
Yeah.
the ice carvings and all that stuff, and it's like the whole town is all snowing and stuff. Like that will always just remind me like of a Christmas movie, even though it's not a Christmas movie.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
it's called Groundhog's Day because of the holiday, but you mean it gives you that. I got you.
Yeah.
I was like, look at this idiot.
Because they're,
This
tra-
guy-
they're
thinking of
trapped
a
in
different
because of
holiday.
blizzard.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I was like, that might be the best example because it's definitely not a Christmas movie. But
Right.
it's like so full of like, and it's got all the feels of a good Christmas movie.
True.
Like, he's that movie's basically like the Scrooge, but like
yeah.
just a little different. Like he's living the same day every day and he becomes a better person by the end of it.
right.
So
Yeah, no, that's a good example. I like that one. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see why that would feel like a Christmas. Mr. Deeds is kind of like that for me too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
Deeds
know
is
why,
great.
but like every time I feel like Mr. Deeds is set in Christmas because he's like from that like icy town, like snowy
Yeah.
town,
He's a vitty vitty sneak.
There you go.
Oh,
good
sorry, I
pull.
have another one. Balto's good.
Balto.
Oh, Balto's great.
Balto does remind me. Yeah,
dude.
freaking dogs and sledding.
Wolf dog.
a dog
100%.
cannot make this journey
Yeah.
alone, but maybe a wolf can.
Wow.
Boom. That was the goose.
Wow, that gave me chicken skin.
Yeah, I know,
rash.
damn.
I watched a lot of Balto when I was younger. So.
I feel like if you went into an audition and did that, you'd get it. Like you'd get the role.
Oh man, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try this out.
Yeah.
What about you, Drake?
I think an unassuming Christmas movie, Passion of the Christ. No.
Oh my god.
Super unassuming.
Not
even in the
technically it's the OG Christmas movie. But
Jesus' birth and Jesus' death, I guess. Yes, all in one day.
yeah. I mean, to a degree. But I would say in terms of show, I would go Ted Lasso's Christmas Special. I thought it blended a great amount of singing as much as it did kind of alluding to what the spirit of Christmas is, which is giving and caring for others and coming together as family. And then in terms of unassuming Christmas movie, probably Gremlins would be my top one. Because
That's a good one.
it's like ancient Chinese magic, right? And I'm Asian. I'm like, oh, maybe this is the case. And you get like a little furry Furby. And you're like, oh, that's pretty cute. And then it turns to a gremlin.
Margawise.
And and it just turns south. And then you have to like kill him with food and water. It's crazy interesting. If you haven't watched Gremlins, you're probably too young.
Yeah, it's like horror and there's comedy to it. Like even though they transform,
Yeah.
they're like evil. Like they're doing funny shit, almost like adult
Yeah.
Minions.
Oh,
yeah.
I've never heard that. Yeah, it's been a long time since I watched it. I only remember Gizmo. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of.
yeah.
I just remember
Don't
loving
feed them after
Gizmo.
midnight.
Don't feed him after midnight.
Do it. Feed him. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Great choices all
it's a good
around,
movie.
guys.
But it's a great movie. I did forget to tell you guys that I did end up watching the latest Hunger Games. That's not really set around Christmas, but there is snow.
Okay.
Both the character and literally it snows. So we can talk about
Dual
that at a later point.
purpose. Right on.
Heyo.
Yeah. That great choices, guys. Yeah, I could see where you're coming from on all of those things with Christmas. Yeah. All right. I'm excited for this next part because
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I got a holiday game for you where I will be your host. The game
Ooh.
is I'm going to each give you guys one thing you get one thing to argue for. You have 1 minute to present your case. And it's either going to be what I think is the best answer or the funniest answer. As an
Okay.
example, it'll be like,
Done and done.
all right, Drake, you have to argue for wreaths, and Scott, you have to argue for trees. And you have 1 minute to present your case.
Wreaths. Who will go first, will you say?
We're going to alternate. It'll go Drake Scott, then Scott Drake, and then Drake Scott.
Okay, this seems kind of fun.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Unofficial timer, kind of in the general
I
area.
got your timer. Don't you
Oh,
worry.
yeah, you got a real life timer.
Don't you worry. All right, Drake, you
real-life
want to go
timer.
first? Do you guys want to do that one? Trees.
Yeah, let's try
and
it.
All right, Drake, you have wreaths, I believe.
Yes.
All
I have a
right,
wreath.
and 3, 2, 1.
First and foremost, you want to go for wreaths because it's just one letter away from wraiths. And because that letter is erased and replaced with another one, you have wreaths, which is a beautifully decorated, usually Christmas piney type of circular, life-saving kind of tube that sits on any door and or flat surface and shows you just how circular, cyclical, and how beautiful life can be, especially during Christmas time, as it's adorned with tinsel and ribbons and
Halfway there.
sometimes fake snow that may be
It's a long
asbestos,
time.
but could also just be a beautiful looking white colored but mostly forest green pine wreath that was probably brought to you by either Target and or Walmart, unless you make your own like you do on Pinterest, but that could be just the case in any other way, shape, or form, because Christmas is not Christmas without a wreath.
Wow, that was phenomenal.
Damn, I don't know if
Holy
I'm
shit.
gonna beat that, dude.
No, you can't be. Good luck on that.
You covered every basis, like the actual description, and then like tying it to wraiths. Like you
Yes.
went like
For just to clarify the rules too, you don't need to go for the full minute. You have just up to a minute.
Okay, cool.
yeah, I was like,
You went-
damn, a minute's a long time.
Like,
No, I heard you say that. I was like, you don't have to use the whole minute. You just like you have a minute.
You're like, plus
Um,
they're white
okay.
sometimes.
That usually, well, at least the cops won't stop them. Okay, come on. But you went
Dang
57
good.
seconds, so that was pretty dang good.
okay,
That's
cool.
good.
cool.
All right. Dang. Okay, Scott, you have up to a minute to sell me on why Christmas trees. Ready,
Okay.
set, go.
Okay, let's go with the first thing right away. When you think Christmas, first thing pops in your head is a Christmas tree. So if you're trying to, feel festive, get a Christmas tree put in your house. If you don't want a real tree, which already smells awesome, but it can be kind of messy, you can get a fake tree. You save money every year, and there's different sizes. If you got a big ass living room, you get a big ass tree. If you got a small living room like me, small tree right there. You decorate it. Okay, you can put lights on it. You can buy a box full of decorations and just do whatever, or you can collect ornaments over years. Add memories to your tree. 10 years down the line, I'm looking back. I'm like, oh man, I remember that 5 years ago. We went to that place. So glad I got this thing to hang on my tree every year. Something you do every year, and you're adding memories to it.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know how else you can beat that. You know what I mean? You get everyone gather around the tree every Christmas day, opening presents, seeing the smiles on little kids' faces.
And time.
Yeah, you got a lot of little
That's
kids during
good.
Christmas.
Yeah,
That was
invite 'em.
pretty good. You definitely had some funny bits in there. I was picturing little kids who I'm not even related to, just being around my tree opening gifts. So there was that. Yes.
tip.
Yeah,
Chug
that was amazing. I could see your brain working too. You're like, what goes on a tree? What can I put on a tree? like all of that was great. Both of you guys
shit,
did a
that's
phenomenal job. But for this round, I'm going to have to give it to Drake. He found ways to make it a little deeper that I was not expecting. And I thought it was just going to be pure hilarity. And yet it was kind of sweet. But both of you guys did a phenomenal job. Drake, you win round 1. All right. We are into round 2. Drake, you have to argue for icicles. And Scott, you have to argue for snowflakes. And Scott, you are kicking this one off. And 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? Can we hold on for a second?
It's just like,
Yeah, literally
in
like a
character.
snowflake. All right. Okay, ready? Okay.
Hey guys.
Okay, let's kick this off.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Snowflakes. What's the second thing you think about when you think of Christmas? Snow. All right. You're inside your house. You're next to your Christmas tree. You're looking out. You want to see snow, snowflakes falling from the sky. Beautiful sight. And if you don't have snow, you can go ahead. You can it's a great project to do with the kids again. You can get paper, you cut them out, make different shapes, hang them on your tree, like I was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? You can catch them in your mouth if that's something you want to do. I don't recommend it, but
No. All right, we got 15 seconds.
No two snowflakes are the same shape. They're kind of like fingerprints from God.
It's true.
So you know,
like
think about that for a second.
That's amazing.
I think that's all I got. Snowflakes.
That's perfect. All right, awesome. Yep, you were pretty much out of minute two. You hit like 58 seconds. So
Sweet.
Awesome job. They're pretty much like fingerprints from God is the standout, and also it's the second thing you think about when you think about Christmas. That was pretty damn good. I like that. All right, Drake. That amazing speech from Scott is the one to beat. Again, you have icicles.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
The reason that you want to go with icicles is because it is a Christmas tradition. Usually, what an icicle is just water falling, dripping downward towards the earth, and as the air is cooling around it, it's turning into a sharp weapon, dangling just above your front door, waiting for karma to come around and stab its claws deep into your head and shoulders.
Oh my God.
But if that's too much for you, what you can do is you can just put a little bit of Mio, that flavored water concoction, down onto it, and it'll drip into a nice icicle cone that you can just all day long for flavor and for function. So with icicles, you can't go wrong because you can use it to protect yourself and you can use it to hydrate yourself at any point in time.
I like it. All right, you
good.
hit 50 seconds, perfectly fine. Damn, that was great. Weapons, yes, I'm glad we went there. Yes, drinking it is fine. But in this round, I'm gonna have to give it to Scott. You kind of lost me on the Mio. Other than that, I was all on board, and then you could add some Mio to it. I was like, wait, what is this?
Nobody wants that flavor additive.
Yeah. Everything else, phenomenal. Again, fantastic job. Both of you guys brought it in that round. So we are tied. We got Drake at 1, Scott at 1. We are now going to round number 3, which is Drake, you have to argue for Christmas Eve, and Scott, you have to argue for Christmas morning. All right. Give you a little bit of time to kind of think through some things. And this is me stalling for a podcast. And we are going to give you a countdown.
Okay.
5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. And it's going to go be Drake first. Just okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got that.
and 3, 2, 1.
Christmas Eve is what you want because it's sultry. It's evening time. It's time for crackling fires and bearskin rugs next to it with a little bit of chocolate milk and cookies where you and your lover can lie down and watch the fire dance as you two melt into each other's arms, hopefully with your kids falling asleep while you fake Santa's arrival and lie to your children as you put presents together under the tree.
Getting dark.
And finally, as you come into the 12-hour morn and it turns into the Christmas dawn, you've now compactulated together and conspired to have a beautiful Christmas morning.
Okay, so now you're helping Scott?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Well, you can't have Christmas morning without Christmas Eve is what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on that too, actually. Yeah.
All right, Drake, you got 5 seconds. You good? And we're done.
Yep.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Capitulate. Did not have that on my bingo card for your argument for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I was like trying to find words, just like any word would work here.
Oh God. Hey, that was a $10 word you threw in there,
Jesus.
and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. It cost
Okay.
me.
All right. Scott, and we're gonna give you the countdown now. And 3, 2, 1.
All right. I think we can all agree that Christmas Eve is, just as important as Christmas Day, but differences. Christmas Day is all about that release of excitement. You've been building up this excitement for like 25 days. 25th day, you get this big release. You guys know what I'm talking about. Everyone loves a good release, okay? Second thing, it feels like the most magical because like that's when kids like really get like reassurance like,
Oh, we're back to the kids.
Santa's real. Yeah, back to the kids. We were all kids once. Okay, I think we can all relate to that. Okay,
You're right.
You're like, man, I hope I get this thing. I hope I get this thing. And then when you get it, you're like, fuck yeah, I knew Santa was real. Fuck yeah. Like it's this reassurance. And then that's the day you can play with all your stuff. If you get a new game and stuff, you're like, dude, breakfast is cooking. You know, like adults are hanging out. You're over there playing your Game Boy or new like N64, whatever that is when we were younger. Just having a blast. That's what you can. Okay, cool. I think I can go on and on about why Christmas Day.
Well, all right, yeah, that's fine. I wasn't done, but
I didn't even get into breakfast on Christmas morning. Okay, so.
I honestly think this one is the hardest one because you guys both said each other's things in your arguments. So like Drake was like, then it ends in Christmas morning, and they're like, is that awesome? Is the Christmas morning the awesome part? And then Scott, you're like, well, Christmas Eve is pretty much just as good as Christmas Day. And I was like, okay, so are you guys arguing for the other person now, or?
Dude, they're a team
it's
for
the
sure,
same.
man.
Yeah. It's like the sun and the moon.
All right. Well, then we will call this one a draw. How about that?
Cool.
2 for
All
2.
right, we are tied. We have, let's see, how many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just gonna do 4 more, and that's it. Yeah. So 4 more for one of you to pull ahead. Again, very confusing on that last one. So really try to, and even if you have to shit talk the other person's thing, that's fully allowed. So for this one, we are going with gingerbread cookies versus sugar cookies. Scott, you'll be arguing for gingerbread cookies. Drake, you'll be arguing for sugar cookies. All right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Scott, I'm going to give you a few seconds here to kind of think through what gingerbread cookies mean to you on Christmas. You can add in, I'm not going to give you any hints because that's cheating. Just think about other uses for gingerbread, and we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, gingerbread is definitely something you think is like a seasonal gingerbread is like a very seasonal thing. Like sugar cookies, you can have that all year round. Okay. Gingerbread is very like, I think little gingerbread men that go next to your gingerbread house. You know, you're doing all the decorating, the frosting. And I also feel like it's more, gingerbread is almost like liking a dark chocolate. Not everyone likes dark chocolate. Not everyone likes gingerbread, but like when you do like it, you kind of feel like you're part of like this like elite club of like people who like really get it. You know what I mean? So I think like just then it's like, you know, any peasant likes sugar cookies. You know what I'm saying? Gingerbread is like, oh, you're eating sugar cookies over there? You should get some of this stuff. Okay. What, you can't afford it? Okay, it's fine. You know what I mean?
Sugar cookies for the brokies. All right, got it.
Sugar cookie for the brokies. Make that sign. Put it around.
Okay. Love it. All right. Quite the argument for gingerbread cookies in there. I'm points that you said gingerbread house because that I do associate those two together. All right, Drake.
Okay.
You are now up.
Yes.
And I will give you the countdown. 3,
Sugar cookies.
2, 1.
So the reason why you want sugar cookies over gingerbread cookies is because sugar cookies are a classic. You can make them anything you want them to be. You want them to be Christmas, they can be Christmas. You want them to be Halloween, they can be Halloween because you're decorating them. It's involved. You can get the family involved. Pretty much a simple recipe that you can take to the bank every single time. They come out perfect. And also they're giving you the thing that gives you the beatus, but it also tastes really good. And if you're eating gingerbread cookies, you're just a straight up racist. Why? Because gingerbread involves you making gingerbread cookies. You need to make gingerbread dough, which happens to have a lot more spices in them, which may make it taste better, but also darkens it up. And why would you want to just consume, right, a colored cookie like that? Because you have the privilege to do so during Christmas. Racism, left and right. If you pick gingerbread cookies, you're just an oppressive person, and you don't want that. You want to pick sugar cookies. It's nice and delightful. Go with the sugar cookie because you can make it into other shapes, not just human beings.
Can I counter one sentence? Are you saying white cookies are right cookies?
For that conclusion alone, I'm going to have to go with Scott. But bonus points there. You had some compelling arguments in there. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
That's
I don't know if I could pick that, but yes.
Why do you want to consume them?
Yeah. This obviously is all in good fun, people. That was
we're
funny.
joking around.
It was hilarious. I dig it. You had, again, strong points, but I don't want to be a racist, so I'm going to, unfortunately, at this time, have to go with the sugar or the gingerbread cookies. Sorry. Gingerbread
All cookies are
cookies.
good. I mean, I can't say that. No.
All cookies matter. All right. No.
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
We're going to flip this around. Again, I think we have 3 more, I said. We are doing in this one, Scott went first, right?
Yeah.
So for this one, we have Drake arguing for elves. Scott is arguing for reindeers, and we're going to kick it off with Drake first. We're going to give you, again, a few more seconds. I think this is an interesting argument because I think both of them do represent Christmas. When I think of Santa Claus with Tim Allen, they are both pivotal in that movie. And I can't get my brain. I don't know which one is more important. So it's going to be up to you guys to sway me. Now, with that being said, Drake, I'm going to give you a 3-second countdown, and we're going to start now.
Okay.
Ready? And 3, 2, 1.
You don't want to choose reindeer because it's cultural appropriation. Reindeer are a real thing from a part of the world where specifically they herd reindeer, right? Where it comes to elves, elves is kind of everywhere. They can be elves on the shelves where they're doing mischievous things. They can be Will Ferrell elves where they just love Santa, but they're actually human beings, or they can be true elves like you would see in Lothlorien of Lord of the Rings. So there's more versatility, even though it may be fictitious. It's just a lot more Christmas spirit because you got to believe. You need the belief. Whereas reindeer can't really fly because they are a real thing. And even though they're used much like cattle animals in certain regions of the world, if you're choosing reindeer, again, you're choosing to keep these creatures subjugated to your rule so that only once a year they can fly around and be free pulling a sleigh. So choose elves.
Wow. Well done. I feel like you went the complete other way. We were like, yeah, slavery is terrible. And that was a strong argument there, which I think everybody can agree with you on.
I liked everybody's reaction when I was like, choosing reindeer is cultural appropriation. Everybody's like, what the fuck is going on?
You did lose me there for a second, but you brought it back home. You brought it back in there.
So
and I think that was pretty strong. All right, Scott, I hope you're ready. We are getting into reindeer, and 3, 2, 1.
Okay, first I want to start off with, I think it's a strange statement to say, like, reindeer can't fly, let's be real, but elves, right? they're real. Make toys, man. So if we're going to go with what's real, let's pick the real thing. What can you see in real life? Let's go reindeer. No one goes anywhere to see an elf. It's never been done. Okay. Second thing, if we're going to go with everything's real, and if reindeer can fly, they are pivotal in the transportation of the goods. You cut off that supply, you just got supply. There's no shipping. There's nowhere to get all this good stuff to anywhere. So, like, it's kind of important. You need it. Okay?
Yeah.
And I don't know. And racism, okay? Sorry, we gotta steer away from that. Get off that track.
Let's get off that track because we
let's keep
it for the kids, especially all these imaginary kids that you have around your Christmas tree and snowflakes.
Let me tell you another thing about Christmas, kids.
All right, drunk Uncle Scott. For this one, I'm giving it to Drake. He found a way to throw elves in there, not only in the Christmas aspect, but he threw in a Lord of the Rings name so subtly. I was like, wow, that came out of nowhere.
Very
in
nice.
this round, I am giving it to Drake, even though that was very, very close. It could have went either way on that one, gentlemen. All right, say 1, 2. So currently we are at Drake. You guys are dead tied. I got Drake, Scott, tie, Scott, Drake. So you guys are dead even. How about this? We're going to go for one more just for the last bit. We'll see how this goes. If we need
there can only be one.
Exactly. If we need an overtime one, we will. But as for right now, we are going to go with the last category, which is going to be caroling or looking at lights. Now, let's see. Who started off the last one? Drake, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so Scott, you are for caroling. Drake, you are for looking at lights. And yeah, both of these I don't really do every Christmas. So, there's probably not a lot of bias here, I don't think. But hopefully there's something that comes to mind for you that will really spark the joy in your heart for either one of these fun Christmas activities. All right, Scott, are you ready?
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
This is for all the marbles, baby. All right, I'll give you a long countdown then, and we'll go with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Caroling or lights? Let's be real, okay? I don't want to do this, but caroling is awkward as fuck. Okay. I'm going to go full Drake on this. I'm going to do yours before you can. Lights are better than caroling.
Okay, wait, Scott, are you supposed to be arguing for caroling?
Yeah, I am, but caroling sucks.
Okay.
I did caroling one time and it was awkward as fuck, man. No, okay, well, but if I hear caroling, okay, we'll try and steer this back. I'm not gonna win, but we'll steer this back. So if you're watching a movie, you see carolers, it does give you a Christmas vibe, and that's probably the best I can do for caroling. Can't think of anything that's.
Say one more bad thing about it.
Okay, every time you carol, you're mouthing the words, but you're not really singing along.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're the guy in the back, and you're just kind of doing it, but you're not really doing it. You're like, why are we doing this? Because one person wants to really do it, and everyone's going along.
Yeah, Samantha.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't like caroling.
Yeah. Come on, Rebecca. I know you always drag me out every year. I hate this shit. You're the only one that likes it.
It's just to impress Steve, and Steve's not even into you.
Steve is, he doesn't care, Rebecca. He doesn't.
He doesn't
I
care.
don't
Go
like
to
when
his
you sing in
parents.
his
Stop
face.
going to his house and singing in front of his house.
Yeah.
Bring friends next time.
It was
Right.
it was 2 years ago. You had one kiss, but you didn't follow up. You went away to Prague, and he moved on.
And here you are,
Man.
you're alone, caroling outside his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pathetic. Okay?
Rebecca and the Lost Christmas coming to Hallmark.
I know.
Okay. So, all right, Drake, we are firing it back on.
Yes.
I feel like
Okay.
you have this one in the bag as long as you don't say anything that remotely relates to racism. I think you pretty much win this one. But
lights
yes,
suck.
you are for looking at lights. We have to let the clock play out. And
Okay.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Looking at Christmas lights is everybody's favorite Christmas activity. You get to drive somewhere with your family. All you do is you look for the brightest scene. You get there and you realize, wow, this is pretty disorganized, but so much effort has been put into this little ensemble. If you got a little baby Jesus there in the recreation of the star and the things, and then you got a Santa Claus kind of falling off the roof, and sometimes you have just a giant reindeer sitting out in front, kind of just eating the grass, kind of like a Clifford, the big red dog. But to be honest, it's just unassuming. It's very easy. It's not intrusive, like knocking on somebody's door so that you can sing to them Christmas songs that they've already been listening to since November, because that one person, let's not name her, Rebecca, can't really get over the fact that her and Steve couldn't be doing those things, and so now you have to sit there. But you left the house, you're with your friends, you're out on Front Street, and you're seeing all these beautiful houses and all this
And
community come
time.
together so they can celebrate Christmas.
I like it. Yeah, you did it.
Nailed
For a
it.
second, though, I felt like you were doing a better job of arguing for caroling than Scott in your Christmas lights one, but you did a fantastic job. Yes, we're giving it to Drake. You are the winner by 1 point. It was neck and neck all the way through. Well done, gentlemen. God, I was so nervous for both of you watching that, but you crushed it. That was really, really freaking good. I loved it. Again, yeah. Hey, whoever's listening, tell us who you thought did a better job, and who, if you thought Drake should have won, let us know. If you thought Scott should have won, also let us know, because I think both these guys absolutely knocked it out of the park. That was phenomenal. All right.
That's
So
fun.
let's get into the next segment, which I think is uncommon things that remind us of Christmas or our favorite Christmas. So it could be, something that you got that reminds you of it. It could be a food. It could be, we grew up in Hawaii. We didn't have the snow. We didn't have really the reindeer and all that stuff. It was probably a little bit untraditional in some ways. But there's, some things that pop up in our minds. I think for me, and should I kick this off or should I pass on? Do you guys have anything that you really want to throw out there?
Go after. Yeah, go
lead us. You're Santa Tom.
For this one, what reminds me, an unconventional thing that always reminds me of Christmas is a Beretta. And
The gun?
the gun. Yeah.
Okay.
This is why. Because
Okay.
1 year
Please
for
explain.
Christmas, I know. Okay, stick with me here.
Whoa.
Stick with me.
Drake, you want to go first?
Where's this going?
Yeah. So one Christmas, when I was really into airsoft, one of my dad's friends got me an airsoft gun of a Beretta, and it was like the coolest thing. It was like my first kind of ever seeing an airsoft gun, and I had never seen a Beretta not up close like that. And you know how realistic airsoft guns look like, but it was a Resident Evil style Beretta.
Oh,
It was all
sick.
shiny. It had the Raccoon City logo on it. And now every time I see one, it doesn't matter if it's in a movie or show or video game. For some reason in my brain, I just think of that Christmas. So weird. I don't know.
Only
That's
that
it.
gun? The Beretta?
Only the Beretta. Yes.
No handguns? Or...
No other
Beretta.
handguns. No revolvers. It's just that Beretta. I don't know why. That's that type of gun. Weird. I don't know why, but it's just there. I'm 35. Probably got that when I was 14. Still thinking
Good
about
old fashioned Christmas item right there.
that. Yeah.
Is that your Christmas star? He's got a Beretta up there.
I actually put it right next to
It just
Baby
lights
Jesus.
up like a gunshot.
yeah. Exactly. So yes, something odd, but for some reason that brings those Christmas memes right back to me.
Nice. Well, mine's are bullets.
Okay.
Snap, dude. Snap.
I think
But we're not.
mine's probably. I know I touched on it a little earlier when describing Christmas, but
Children?
I guess video games, bro. Take it easy, okay?
Children around the tree,
That's
around the
second thing I was
snow.
gonna say. No, video games probably a system, a console. That's usually when I would get those sort of things. And also my birthday's later in the year. It's in November, so it's always around the holiday time. So if I were to get anything new, and we grew up playing video games, so there was always a game. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait till the end of the year to get that or something.
Mhm.
And then, usually any sort of handheld game too. If I'm playing Pokemon or something like that, there was always family gatherings, and then my brother and I were playing our Game Boys or something.
Yeah.
So anytime I play video games and whatnot, I kind of think about that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You always knew for Christmas, especially if you really wanted a game or something, and your mom was like, "Hey, nope, you can't get that yet." You're like, "All right, I know I'm getting it for Christmas. I know that's what you got me."
Yeah.
You just knowing that you're gonna get it, but you can't play it till then. That Christmas morning when you're you get to finally open it, and then you still have to watch or at least for me, I had to watch all my sisters and parents open their gifts, but I wanted to just run to the Xbox or the PlayStation and play. You're like,
Can we
oh,
move this into
okay,
the family room where the TV is, guys?
yeah,
So you start firing it up. Yeah.
exactly. Yep, I remember that as well. What do you got, Drake?
Dang. Large platters of sashimi remind me of Christmas.
Oh, delicious.
Num num.
Because in Hawaii Japanese style family on my mom's side and even on my dad's side, going to a lot of the Christmas parties during that time, there's always a round ass plate of sashimi, which is sushi grade tuna that's sliced relatively thinly, like you would get on an onigiri. And all there is just that fake wasabi and shoyu, soy sauce.
So good.
Yeah, dude, and just every party had that, so it really didn't seem like Christmas unless we had those things.
So
you know?
true.
Maybe it's just a general holiday thing, but I feel like sashimi is like that special
Dude, for
Christmas
sure. Like,
Yeah.
food.
In Hawaii,
else?
for sure. Like, yeah, it was like Christmas and New Year's. You always had a plate of sashimi somewhere.
Yeah.
Question for you guys: are you the type that does the wasabi like in your shoyu, or are you like putting it on straight the fish, or like what's your style when it comes to like wasabi and shoyu?
So to be a food snob, the horseradish colored green stuff that you get in the wasabi tubes is not real wasabi. Wasabi is a root, much like turmeric and or ginger, that you would actually have to grow and grate, which is slightly sweeter and less kind of pungent as horseradish is. But typically, if I am eating that fake stuff, it's in the soy sauce, just because it is relatively too pungent just to put on the fish by itself.
There you go.
Yeah, I have to
Right,
say,
Andy.
like, nearly 99% of the time I'm doing that. If I get like a to go kind of sushi or whatnot, depending on the situation, I might like just put a little wasabi on all of them and then pour the shoyu on top. Depending on, like,
cover
what kinda-
everything.
If you got a side dish going on,
Yeah.
I'll mix it for sure.
Mix it. Yeah, I'm in the
Cookies, all day,
mixing
cookies.
too. When I watch Jiro Dreams of Sushi and I realized that's not what you're supposed to do, I was like, man, I'm so bad at being Japanese. But that's how I've been doing it forever. Yeah, I'm totally mixing it up too. God, oh gosh, I hope we get sashimi this year. That sounds
So good.
incredible.
I mean, I was such a
Yeah.
fatty too when I was younger,
That sounds so
and
good.
still am. But it's like when I
No.
man, when you come across some good appetizers before food, I'm like running that in my head, like, don't go crazy on this, dude. Like, there's food later. Like, if I see a bunch of
Right.
sashimi, I'm like, it's like part of me is like first meal, like, you know, and I'm like, take it easy, dude. Just take a little, walk away.
You're like,
Like,
hold back, buddy. Hold
There's
back.
other people that want sashimi. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
problem.
I'm surprised you didn't say rum cake, Scott, because I think of like
Oh.
Christmas when I would come over your house and your mom would make the rum cake. Like that like comes to my mind too. And I've never anywhere else had rum cake. That's like the
That's-
only place I've ever had it.
Dude, that's a good point. You got
Oh,
my
yeah,
better
yeah.
answer. Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's really true. Yeah,
hmm
that rum
Yeah,
cake's so good.
Thomas's mom's ooey gooey.
Ooh, gooey. That's a ball one. Yeah. Or like she makes the
so
chocolate pecan
good.
pie, or like she's done macadamia nuts too, like
yeah.
chocolate macadamia nuts. Bomb.
Yep,
Oh my
yep,
God. I
yep.
can't wait to start eating.
Scott, your mom's beef stew is like real
That's good,
delicious
too.
as
Or
well.
fried chicken.
Dude,
Dude,
let's just
Yeah,
talk about
Scott's mom cooks
chicken,
real
really
good.
that. Yeah.
Yo, so just a little tidbit. When we used to go over to each other's houses, our moms would cook for everybody. It was pretty fucking fantastic. If you don't have friends like that, then you don't really have good friends. Just FYI.
Facts. We are very, very lucky for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're in the last bit of the show, and this is the moment I think a lot of people should have been waiting for. And if you've made it this far, you got a treat coming for you. We did the whole Google form trending thing that's going on, and we got some fun holiday questions that we all voted on. You'll be seeing this. You probably have already seen this on social media by the time this episode comes out, but we're going to give you our answers for each other. And so it consists of, I think, 10 questions. I could be wrong on the total, but something like that. And we're just going to start firing away. So I'm going to read the question.
Okay.
You guys guess who we think who got the most votes. We'll all say it, and then I will read the actual answer. Are you
Okay.
guys ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Yeah, let's get a little drum roll going. Perfect. All right. So the first question is, who is the nicest?
Thomas.
Scott.
Scott? Okay. Nice.
Oh.
I would have said Scott too. And I think I did because the answer with 66.7%, Scott.
Hey.
Oh,
Scott,
nice.
you
Nice.
fucking
You
nicey.
nice bastard.
Assholes.
Yeah.
You're too nice.
You those children, you know.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is, who is the nicest? Who do we think?
Wait. Is that what we just did?
Oh, wait, did I
We
say
just did
nicest again?
Yeah.
Trick question.
Sorry, I was real nice
Whoa,
about it. We just-
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah. No, sorry. Who is the naughtiest?
Oh.
The naughtiest.
I don't know who I put down.
I don't remember who I put
Just
down.
say, yeah.
I put down Drake.
Oh, you put down me? I think I put down Thomas.
You actually put down yourself because you got 100% on the
myself?
score here.
And he's all like, you put down me?
yeah.
He's like, me.
Yeah, so Drake, you are
Dang.
100% the naughtiest, which is great.
Oh, fantastic. I don't have a great memory.
That's awesome. This is perfect for this questionnaire then. Who is
Okay.
the biggest ho ho ho?
Oh,
I
yeah,
definitely
put
put
Thomas.
Thomas because you're Santa
Yeah, I
Tom.
put myself too. So that
He's
I
got the whole
100%
around his
that.
neck, too, so.
yeah.
I know,
Is
yeah.
that wasn't even
Gave it
planned,
away.
which is
Gave it
great.
away.
Yeah, so we had Scott, then Drake, then me, which is amazing.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, what? I can't believe this. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm more surprised at myself here. Who gives the best gifts?
I
Thomas.
think I put Thomas.
Yeah, apparently I put
you give us
myself too.
gifts.
Look at that.
Wow.
You're like, yeah, I'm the only one gifting people stuff on
Oh
a
my
regular
God.
basis, so
Hey,
fuck
What
those
a
guys.
dick.
Thanks, bro.
We appreciate you, bud.
Thanks. Oh my God. Wow. I'm not vain at all.
100% right there.
Love.
All right. Who's the most likely to spend money on something random or unnecessary?
I think I put Drake.
I think
I put
me.
Drake as well.
Bunkai.
So 100%.
Remember, you had a
for
full-size
Drake.
bunker in your room, and I'm like,
Bunkai.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a gift from you guys.
yeah, but then you
fools.
kept it. What a fool. I
Yeah.
forgot that.
Yeah, I still have it. It's in the garage right now.
This is why I came up with that answer was because every other week when we were doing this podcast, you've recently got into football or what we call here in the States soccer. And every week you're like, bro, check how cool this jersey is. Or like, dude,
Yeah,
McLaren just came
yeah.
out with new merch. Gotta
Yeah.
get it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They got Drake again.
Man, I was spending so much money, dude.
So yes, we give that one to Drake. Although I will say, if it wasn't Drake, it'd definitely be me. I bought some dumb shit this year.
But it fills us,
Yeah,
It
you
makes
gotta
us feel
treat
things.
yourself. You gotta treat yourself sometimes.
So we can't Marie Kondo it.
Absolutely. So the next question is: who's the most likely to give Santa wrong directions?
I put me.
Oh, was that a question? Did I not answer that question? I don't remember that question. I want to say Scott.
It's got 3 answers. You said Scott. I think I probably also said Scott.
Yeah,
And
I-
yes, we have
Okay.
It's
Scott.
no surprise.
who-
I have the worst sense of direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. If you watch One
Yeah.
Piece, I'm basically Zorro with the directions.
Yeah.
Like, there's times I'm walking with Christine, and she'll like, let's go back to the car. And I'm like, yeah, I'm walking. And she'll start pulling me because I'm just walking confidently in the wrong direction. I'll tell a story, and I don't know if you guys did it too, but I'm like talking about things I'm like, oh yeah, and then we just went down the block. And then Christine is really good at directions, so she's like, you mean that way? She's like, you just point, when you tell things, you just start pointing. And I'm like, fuck, in my memory, I'm thinking about where I was and like where, like nothing to do with
You're
where I am
pointing from
currently.
your perspective,
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
moment. Yeah,
It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
that's too good. Yeah, so yeah, for that reason, yeah, I had to pick you, brother. You always be pointing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wrong direction.
Pointer. Do you remember that one time we were all driving to Hawaiian Brian's and nobody could really find the place, and it was one of the first times there, and I was driving and I was getting fucking so frustrated that I was like, fuck it, we're not doing this. And then we ended up not going because I got frustrated. I'm sorry, guys. I was so
Remember
Yeah,
that?
I don't remember that.
We probably had a
So-
good time. Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, shorter, yeah. Yeah.
Good times. Oh, Hawaiian Brian's. Is that still?
That'd be a great podcast.
Yeah, is that still
What?
going, Scott?
It is. I
Hawaiian
went fairly
Uh,
recently. They changed up the look of the place. They actually
Oh,
have
yeah?
like a couple spots for like proper bands to come in and stuff now.
Brian's? Ooh.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of
Very
divided
nice.
up and stuff, but they still got like some pool tables and darts and stuff like that. But
Video games and
Yeah.
stuff? Okay.
it's just different than when we were before.
Right on. Shout out to Hawaiian Brian's. That place is a throwback.
All
All right. Next question is: who's the most likely to embarrass themselves at Hawaiian Brian's or in public?
Oh, but I think I put me.
I think you said Thomas.
Yeah. So the winner with 2 out of the 3 votes is Drake.
Oh, it's me?
Did you put you?
I don't remember who I voted for
Did
in
I
this
put
one.
me?
I have
think,
no
I think
idea.
I
don't
voted
remember who I
me. I
voted for.
thought. Because I
Maybe
spill
you
shit on
did.
myself when I eat.
Yeah,
embarrassing.
well, there's a
Oh.
vote for you, Scott, and there's 2 votes for Drake. I
Oh,
don't
no.
remember who.
I did vote for myself.
guy,
I did
you
vote for
never
myself because I thought about. No, because I remember reading
Yeah.
the question and I go, oh, me. And I thought to myself, why? And I go, I'm Eddie Murphy.
Yes. If you want to understand that story, go
yeah.
back. I think that's on our episode 100.
Yeah.
So funny. Yes. One of the best Eddie Murphy impressions ever, but in the opposite way of it being good.
Damn it.
Yes, that was hilarious. You know what honestly made me, I think I did vote for you, Drake, because this is what made me think of it. When we went to whatever that DVD store was.
Oh, fuck.
Suncoast.
Oh,
and we were
bastards.
like, I don't know, 14 years old. And Drake's walking up and there's like this full shelf of DVDs. And it was like
Gundam DVDs.
Yeah, I think there was Dragon Ball Z, all kinds of stuff in there. But he went up to give the shelf a hug. And as he did that, went away, the whole shelf of like 100 DVDs just fell off the wall.
Dude. And you and Elin just were like, nope. And you guys walked away while I was scrambling trying to pick up all these fucking DVDs, you asses.
It wasn't because we wanted to leave you hanging. I was dying laughing so hard. I couldn't like keep my shit together. I had to like walk away to like laugh, compose myself. I came back and thinking I helped you pick it up, but you had most of them up by then. But I was losing my shit. So
you guys, dude.
That's so funny. That makes me think of I know he's not on this list, but Cole might take this one if he was option. I remember that same thing. We were at that tournament, that Smash tournament, and like he got knocked out of the tournament, so he like decides to like post up against like it was like a GameStop kind of, but it was plane trade thing or something.
Yeah,
he's leaning against the thing. Yeah, and he knocks down all the games. He's like, oh shoot, my bad. And I'm like, he's one of those like it's like the most embarrassing for everyone else, but he also doesn't seem like he cares. So it's like it's funny. Like, dude, what the stop, dude, get away from there! Like it's so funny.
He's like Joe Gatto from the Practical Jokers. Like, you can't embarrass that guy.
God.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. Miss you, Cubs.
Missy Cubs.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Okay. We got a few more here. Let's see. We got who's the most likely to get into a physical altercation with a family member this Christmas?
This was weird because
Tom.
Please tell me why, because I think this is hilarious.
No, I just know you get competitive, but this is like this is a weird one to answer. I was like, I don't want to like. I hope none of us get into physical confrontations at this point in our lives. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't think this is accurate in that statement. Like this year, like I hope not. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I know, like if Christmas games start going.
If you could see it
Tom
happening,
competitive.
Yeah. He don't take
and it's not
my
really
gosh.
physical,
Don't
but
like
it's
to
like
lose.
Well, it's the how all your sisters are also competitive.
Yeah,
your
everyone's
dad's
competitive. It's fine.
Your mom's slightly competitive. I remember that. Remember that one time in Halo, and then your dad was using my controller, and you got mad, and then you slammed my controller, and I was like,
The best part was,
what's going on? Like what happened?
yeah, you walked back in the room after my dad slammed it, and you're like, "What happened to my controller?" And I was like, "My dad broke it." And it's like, sorry, bro.
Oh man, it's so funny. It's funny.
But I don't disagree with you guys. You're probably right. Let's see. Who is the most likely to not respond in the group chat? And everybody.
Oh, that's me for sure.
Which is hilarious. Everybody has a vote.
Oh shit! Did we all put ourselves?
For Drake.
I don't know if we all put ourselves, but this one is a tie. Yeah.
I put me for sure because I definitely am not good at this.
Yeah, sometimes I'm bad at it. Sorry, other group chats out there.
Yeah, somehow I got a vote, so okay. Man, am I getting a physical altercation right now?
Oh dang! Santa Tom.
Oh my gosh, that's too good.
Making a list, checking it twice.
That one is funny. Yes, Drake, please respond. All right, let's go with this one. Who's the most likely to talk with their mic in their mouth and then the next sentence talk a mile away?
Oh yeah,
down.
Yeah,
I chose me.
Yeah, as maybe many of you probably have heard, there's parts where you like start off so loud and like, kind of like
super loud. Like this.
Yeah, exactly, just like that in some of the episodes, and then and then by the end of the episode, you sound like this. Like you're like so far away. Yes, editor Thomas,
and it's always when you have a really good point. I'm really trying to tune in.
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, he's killing right now, but I can barely hear him.
Like, what does he say? Totally.
Trying to
God,
make you listen.
there's been times when you do that too, Scott, which is so funny because like you're saying something awesome,
Yeah.
and then you're talking like this, and then I don't know, man. It's always like at the end of your sentence, I'm like, that's the best
I
part.
don't know why I get quieter. I do that, and I know I do it, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just joking. I did that on purpose, but I don't know why I do
As
it.
an example, I don't know, but it is so funny.
Uh.
I'm glad we can laugh at it. Who's the most likely to make you piss your pants laughing? And I would say if Koba's here, this would probably be a tie. But the winner by a small margin goes to Scott. And then Drake.
Ah.
I put you, Drake.
Say something funny, bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
Make me laugh, clown.
Laugh cloud.
I think I chose Scott because in the context of all of our shows that we've done so far, like Scott sometimes will like with the mispronunciation of names,
Totally.
he'll add in like a little tidbit, and it'll just throw the balls into our walls.
Yeah, 100%. Like even Scott, even when you're not trying to be funny, sometimes it comes out really funny. And then so
Yeah.
you
Oh, thanks. That's high
you
praise.
kill it on that. Yeah, that's awesome.
But fuck you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Exactly. I'll take that too. Who's the most likely to be, or who's the most like the Grinch? So
where did I put this one?
you don't have to
I'll
worry
say
about it.
you
You put it. You can just think who won. You guys are like
I think
outing
Drake won.
yourselves here.
So yeah, it's supposed to be a survey.
Yeah, you're just
I'm like,
saying
I
what you
definitely
think.
put this. Hard feelings.
All right.
Yeah,
The answer
some dead time
is
there.
I think-
we have Drake followed by me.
Yes.
Oh,
Drake.
Yeah,
Drake.
Drake. Why do you think that's the answer?
I think that's the answer because, I can just be a buttface sometimes. Historically, I can kind of be a buttface.
Are you going postal?
I'm not like, I gotta go post. Like, with my close family and friends, like, there's a general understanding. And historically, Drake has had a temper in high school years up until now. I've refined it into, a drive
Into
that's
people?
a little bit more productive.
Oh.
But there was points of time. So we had a friend, Aaron, who used to skate with us, and we were skating at the Gap by my house when I used to live up in Malka on Kahapa Street. And our friend Aaron would be like, "Oh, can I skate this Gap, Drake?" Or like when Thomas and Elin and I were playing NBA 2K, and I thought I was doing good, and then I wasn't doing good because they were 2-on-1ing me. Because that's how I wanted to play it, and then I punched a hole in the fucking wall.
a good
That's the
example
kind of
of it.
stuff that makes me a
Yeah.
Grinch.
No, totally.
Mine are more hilariously linked, I think. Like, I have memories of you getting angry, but like I found them funny. Like
Totally. Yeah. Oh, that's me too.
watching a movie, and you're like, I remember watching The Mist, and then the main character's son is like crying throughout the movie, and I'm like, it's kind of accurate. He's a young kid. It's a scary thing going on, and he's like, this fucking kid, like, man up, dude. Man
Yeah.
up. I'm like, dude, he's a kid, dude. Like, he's like, fuck this kid. Like,
Yeah, sounds like me.
Yeah.
or if like you're driving and you're like, you were good at multitasking and driving, and then if something happens, you're like, what the fuck? Like real quick, and you come back down, and it's like comedic, but it's hilarious.
Yes, you are one of the most comedic people at getting angry, and it's awesome. Like you would be Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and that's
Yeah.
not a diss. That's a compliment.
And I still think back to the funniest one. Was that time that shopping cart got hit over, and the way you were describing that to me was so funny because you're like, can you believe this guy? Like, so I kicked over the shopping cart, okay, and then this worker's like, "What are you, ignorant?" And I'm like, "Fuck you!"
The ignorant.
And I'm like, "Yeah, why'd you kick it over?" You're like, "I don't know."
Like, it's just bad. Yeah, or something.
But you're like, he called me ignorant, and that was what you were angry at. And I started laughing. So even now, I was driving the other day, and someone was like driving weird. I'm like, what is this person, ignorant? And then Christine's like, where did that come from? We're like, oh, it's Drake. It's just now I think of that.
Yeah.
Like, what is this guy, ignorant?
God, yeah, that still makes me laugh that that's the word that set you off the chart. Like,
Jeez, sorry.
oh, it's too funny. It's too good.
What great times.
Great times, man.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
All right, last question of the night. I think no, maybe this person knows, maybe they don't. I'm sure they do at this point. Who's the most likely to hit the mute button on their mic?
Scott.
you know, it made no sound that time because we fixed the gain, I think.
Oh, I hit the mute button though.
I couldn't hear it. That was like the first time I ever could not
really?
hear it. Yes.
I'm gonna hit it a lot more going forward.
Wow.
It just,
Nah,
yeah. Just do an
It's
example.
definitely me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If you guys, if that makes me the Grinch, then you are damn right it does, because that has been the bane of my existence all year in trying to put these
Tick, tick.
episodes together. Scott has this, and you'll hear it. Like sometimes I just can't take
Tick,
it out.
tick.
It's like da-dunk, da-dunk. When Scott's out, da-dunk. It is so funny, and yet has been so tough
It is
on
funny.
me. And
I'm
of course, one of our last episodes of the year, he figures out how not to do it. So this is too good.
It was funny. So, like, maybe I didn't fully, like, I guess I didn't fully understand, like, what was picking up the sound, right? So, you're like, it's picking up. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I'm just going to do it, like, real soft. Like, so I'm like, slowly, like,
Yes, it did. It got slower, but it was still like,
yeah.
dunk.
On my
I
end,
was
I'm
like,
like,
what the fuck?
oh, I
That's-
couldn't hear that. Nailed it. And then you're listening like, fuck. Like, I literally just told him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
he won't even know.
Yeah, slower and gentler did not fix the issue. So it just got slower and gentler, but it would be like, you know, I could tell you're about to cough and I see you pushing down and it's like da-dunk.
Oh, man, you see it happening
Like-
live till you're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're like, okay, there's another thing I got to do. There's another thing I got to do.
Marking the
Oh,
times to make it
man. Yeah. But hey, anyways, it's been a ton of fun. This has been great, just kind of reminiscing with you guys, playing some games. You know, we got into some of our personal past, but at the same time, you know, had some fun. You guys, hell of improvisers and arguers for each side. You crushed it at that game. A lot of things I would not think of for you guys for Christmas, and yet it makes a ton of sense. When I look at you now, I'm like, I get it. Yeah. So I like that. Yeah, I don't know. Any final words, closing thoughts?
A Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
All right, NSYNC, eat your heart out. All right, everybody. Anybody else want to say thanks for?
Thanks for Santa sticking with us.
There you go.
Thanks for
Shanta?
Sticking with us.
Shan sticking with us.
All right.
Thanks for being here during the time
Yeah, I
of
hope you
Christmas.
have a
and
great
Xmas.
holiday. And thank you for sticking it with us.
Yeah, be careful, children of Scott. Bye.
I'm a cool guy.
Ooh.
The Joy Schtick Show.
If you've enjoyed what you've been listening to, we'd really appreciate a follow, subscribe, and a review. Just how we like chatting with our friends, please share this with yours. Feel free to join the squad and follow us at JoySchtickShow, Joy Schtick Show on Twitter and Instagram, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you feel like submitting topics or questions to be discussed on future episodes, you can email us at joystick.show@gmail.com. As always, thank you, peace out, and make it a great rest of your week.